It worked.
Jamie.
Michael, how are you?
Good.
Oh, man. So how is everybody?
Behind the scenes, technical difficulties.
Well, yeah. It's all, life is good.
Yes.
Life is complete. I'm feeling lucky. Yes.
Or unlucky. We shall see. Lucky number 7?
Yeah, lucky number 7. Yeah, and it's funny because you really don't see a whole lot as to why it's lucky number 7, other than the fact it's such a popular number.
Yeah. People seem drawn to it, but I mean, it's... I like to think of, there's 7 wonders of the world.
Yep.
So there's 7 of people like to make
7 wonders of the world.
Yeah.
7 days of the week. It's,
there you go.
Let's see. The 7th son of the 7th son. So there's several legends that have that to endow the 7th son of the 7th son with magic powers.
The 7 signs of the apocalypse. Do you have that one?
Oh my gosh. So yes.
And the 7
So
deadly sins.
In the Bible, yep. So it's got all this significant. The Old Testament, the world was created in 6 days, and God rested when? On the 7th
Why
day.
does he need to rest? That always confused me.
That's a good point. Being all omnipotent. And
Yeah,
everything.
all powerful.
Did he?
I need a break.
Did God literally go? Wow. Make a few more snakes, and that's it, man. That's the only energy I got.
There's the 7 virtues.
Yep. So let's see. Yep. And so the New Testament 7 symbolizes the unity of the 4 corners of the earth, because the earth is flat, mind you. And the Holy Trinity. It's also featured all over Revelations.
Sure.
So John writes to the 7 churches. Jesus stands amongst the 7 candlesticks. The 7 spirits hang around God's throne. The Lamb has 7 horns and 7 eyes. And I collect sideshow oddities, and so I really want... Now I really want
a lamb with 7 eyes?
I want somebody... I want a taxidermy, a lamb that has 7 horns and 7 eyes. And actually the eyes represent perfect sight. That's what the 7 means.
Okay.
He opens 7 seals.
Yeah, yep. That's what I was saying, yeah.
7 angels around 7 trumpets. And 7 angels pour out 7 bowls of wrath. The new cereal.
Right.
We're going to have a bowl of wrath.
So, and I travel the world in the 7 seas.
The 7 seas.
Yeah.
And Korean, the Quran speaks of, the Quran speaks of 7 heavens. Muslims, pilgrims walk around the Kaaba in Mecca, their holy sites 7 times. Hinduism, there's 7 higher worlds and 7 underworlds. Buddhism, newborn Buddhism rises and takes 7 steps. I mean, 7
happens a lot.
And I know you can say that, you can look up 7, but we've already done 6 other numbers.
Right.
And there is not this much interest in the world.
7s are popular.
With them. And so there was this mathematician, Alex Bellows. He asked 44,000 people.
What's the favorite number?
Favorite number.
Yeah.
And 4,000 of them named number 7. Far more than any other number.
I believe it.
And that comes from Psychology Today. And do you know how many colors are in a rainbow?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Isn't that... Let's see.
Come on. Hold on.
Y.
He's an artist. He has a degree. Tell us. Hold on. I've got him here. Okay. It's a quiz.
It's 7. I counted it out. I had to do the Roy G.
What are the numbers, Michael?
What do you mean? The numbers?
I'm sorry. What are the colors?
We got red, orange, yellow, green, indigo. Indigo. Wait, hold on.
All right, I'm blowing everybody now. Yes.
Blue, indigo,
and indigo.
And violet.
Okay. He's amazing.
And violet.
Well, no, it does. Hold on, that's 8.
Blue, indigo, and violet. That's makes the 7.
Well, it says red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay.
Green, blue, indigo, and violet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, anywho.
The whole rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow. Oh, man. So, yes, 7s are... And so, that's, one of those things now when we're reading the tarot, because it seems to just be this number that's in people's heads. And it's funny because with the tarot, we think about 7, and 7's an odd number, and we generally treat the odd number as that extra. You have a 6, and then you have something that's intrusive in there.
Right.
You have 4,
Yep.
which is balance, and then something intrusive in there.
Much the same way with the 7s.
But 7s and 9s, as we move up, it's not to such an effect. It's actually.
Oh, well, we'll see. Hold
I'm
on, we'll see.
I'm just saying that as we're now past, so in our story, we have had the idea with 1, we had our choices with 2, we started growing with 3, we found the balance in 4 that got stagnant, so we get 5,
right.
and then we find the harmony in 6, and then after the harmony of 6, you can't stay on a number.
Right.
Which means you have to throw
You have
something
to move
in
on,
there
right?
to interrupt it. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what else were you thinking? Anything?
Well, yeah, I'll as you know, there's no good or bad in any card or number, and so there's both aspects. There's the positive and the negative, as I will elaborate as we get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to start with the peeking at the majors before we
can
jump in?
start with the majors.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to bring this around over there, and I'm going to transfigurate this up here.
All the fancy tools.
I know, and I'm going to bring naked woman,
the star,
and the man,
and the chariot.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
then I will do the ultra zoom. Here we go.
yeah. So the charioteer is pushing forward. It's needed.
Well, okay, so it is a 7. So,
Yep.
okay,
Yep. So I see the 7s as a necessary push forward.
It's with the chariot, it's like taking control of a tough situation.
Right. But we have to beware because we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, the dark horse can fight against the light horse and pull you off the right path. With the star, it's...
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Because let's think about this also, because we are about pushing forward.
Sure.
So the chariot is also a paradox, because we talk about a chariot and how it moves forward.
Right.
But the chariot is pictured at rest.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can see,
I mean, it depends on the deck, but yes.
But it's sitting here at rest. The driver of the chariot never moves, and so it's sitting there. He's holding fast, and so in the 7s, it's one of those things where it gives you a chance to take. You're not just rushing into something. It's not like an 8. It's not like these other. So the 7 is almost like
contemplating what action to take.
Right.
Yeah. It's that flipping of a coin, really. It's saying, okay, should I double down and move forward, or should I hold them and
Right.
stay where I am?
So you're in the 6s, and
Yeah.
you've got that harmony thing that's going on there, but also, because it is a 6, that you've got to ultimately move forward. So, but it's not a panic moving forward.
Yeah, because 6s are good. Yeah.
Right.
6s are...
So this is that pause, and that is what this charioteer is sitting here doing.
Sure. Hanging out before he pushes forward.
So it's all about the self-will and self-confident with the chariot. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't need to rush forward. He knows that, whether it's a battle that's already succeeded,
right,
or he's going out to battle, he knows that
he's confident. He's got the strong will.
He's got the strong will.
Yep.
And 7s, when I'm reading a 7, 7s to me are always about potential and ambition.
Sure.
7s are potentials, and the charioteer sees the potentials, and
is gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's decided to move forward.
Yes.
And then you've got the star.
And then we have the star.
Which is, again, when I was alluding to the not out of the woods yet, it's dark, and we need to move forward, and the star represents that optimistic hope to get us out of the dark, but we could just as easily stay in the dark. So we have to actively choose to move forward. We have to hope will get us the first step on the path that we need to continue on. So much like the charioteer, we have to willfully decide to seek out the light.
Right. So, and yeah,
Yeah.
you pretty much covered it all as far as the sevens in there.
Yeah.
And so, why are we doing this again? As I always explain, because we have the sevens here, and then we jump to 17. I know a lot of people will say, shouldn't it be 7 plus? 7 plus 1. Or I'm sorry.
7 plus 1 would be 8,
yeah.
but that's one way to do it.
So, but we look at the numbers as cycles.
Cycles
and I
of
like
10.
that. Cycles of 10s. I like the karma because that works with not only the majors, but it works with the minors also because you're going through each different cycle. So, yes.
And in my tarot deck that I'm working on, as you know, there's extra majors, one extra round.
Yes.
So after the charioteer of the number 7 and the star of 17, I've got a 27th card, which is actually can be found in the Visconti Madrone, one of the earliest tarot decks, and it is one of the virtues, one of the 7 virtues of hope.
Okay,
So, which fits in, it's like the star, but like on a higher level.
And hello, Twix.
Good to see you.
Definitely good to see you. Yes, and so and as we were saying with the star, though, I mean, like I say, when I look at the sevens and I'm reading if I'm reading the Marseille, I just what is the potential here, and hope we see the potential. We see that there's something to move forward.
Yeah.
To.
Yep, absolutely.
We believe. We have that faith. We have a belief.
And that hope to make us take that active step. That make that movement happen.
Yep, and like I always like to remind is that, but hope and this is where we kind of differ. Because I always say with the star, hope and faith are not active words.
So
they are passive words. Yeah. I can, that's why you can hope for something, but you need to actually make an action for it to happen.
Yes. And hope can inspire you to take that action.
It can inspire and all that other wonderful stuff.
Yep.
Okay. I agree. We all agree.
But yeah. So moving on, let's go into the swords.
Stabby.
Stabby.
Okay. So... You want to start? Let's start with the good old Rider-Waite Smith. Rider-Waite Smith. Let's give her due.
Absolutely. So 7 of the Swords. This is the Lord of Unstable Effort, and according to Golden Dawn, and the Moon is in Aquarius. So this is the emotions and the unconscious, which is the Moon, and Aquarius is the intellectual. So these are two things that not a good combination here. The mind and the is saying, ooh, it's too much of that woo-woo stuff, and the woo-woo is like, what are you talking, mind? Shut off. So it's a little bit of friction here between between your intuition and the logical brain is happening.
See, and I see the 7 here as having nothing to do with intuition. The swords, to me, it's just all about intellectual. It's all about the thought. It's all about...
That's only half the story.
Well,
it's his gut that's making him take that calculated risk, temptation.
Well, no, okay. So it's one of those things where kind of like what I see with the 7s is that when you're under stress. So you can... When you're under stress, you start doing things that you normally wouldn't.
Right. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
So we start to think less clearly.
Yep.
And we can base our actions on those fears. So if this card pops up, it can be one of two things. It could either be, watch out for treachery.
Sure.
Because they use the word treachery. Or it could be one of those things of us behaving in a way that we may normally not behave because we have that stress.
Yeah.
So we had the 6s. We were on this boat. We're relaxed. We're chilling.
Things are good.
You got a drink with an umbrella on it.
Right. And now
reality kicks in. It's like, oh no, now it's panic again.
Well, now you got the wild hair that's making you want to cut corners and for the short-term gain that might be harmful in the long run. So this is the underhanded thoughts start creeping in, and you're like, I can steal these swords. I can get away with it.
Well, yeah, and we're plotting. So with the sevens, and again, swords are they're air.
Yep.
They are also considered a thought, and swords are also considered. If you're looking at the class, that would be the ruling class. That would be your knights, and that would be your fighters. That would be your that would be the royalty, and so it can also be about plotting, because now's the time to come up with an idea. And that extra sword that we throw into the sixes, which I guess if we actually go into the more with the, if we just throw out the from the Marseille.
Sure. You want to jump into that? Sure.
Well, put them side by side,
Okay.
because now, here we have this 6. And so if this is about politics or royalty or taking charge or having to insert your ideas into something. I mean, that's exactly what this is representing. You have the same boat that you have with the 6s, but now you have this sword in here, this new, it's you coming through, forcing our way through here.
Right.
With a new idea.
Right. But is it a good idea or a bad idea? That's the question.
Well, that and your motivation.
Yes.
What is the motivation? Are you plotting?
Right.
Are you doing this out of fear, or is this because I'm going to take charge?
Right.
Or am I being deceitful? Or
well, you're still taking charge, but
Right.
it just might not be for the right reasons.
and another thing to consider though is that when you're reading this, sometimes there's a situation where, and as I put it in here, you need to be tricky, sneaky, or even dishonest in some situations. Even though honesty is not the best policy, sometimes flattery, lies, dissembly is necessary to get back what you feel belongs to you. So if for whatever, and I'm saying that's how some people, I wouldn't think that way.
Right.
But, sometimes you have to play a game of chess.
It's
You have to, this is a card of manipulation.
right, and
So,
you got to be careful because
you have to be careful.
because that karma has a way of balancing the
kicking your
scales.
butt.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
with the swords are a hard suit, and so you really do have to be careful because the
Sure.
hard suits are what can kick you in the butt.
Sure, and like I say, short-term gain. Yeah, he's happy today, but these people in the campfire over here, they might see him, and then he better start taking off real quick. Leave those two behind because he's gonna get a beat down. Don't steal my sword.
So, and do you remember that discussion? So this kind of. So one of the I'm going to do a little sidetrack here, but one of the things we were talking about originally was whether swords should be up or down.
Ah, yes.
And not and I was logically thinking about this.
You're right.
Is that the sword really should be up because it is a hard suit.
Yeah, that's right.
So when a sword is down, if you see with history, if you look at bas reliefs or you look at pictures and things like that, generally the swords are down,
it's peace.
and a sign of peace.
Yeah.
But swords
should
are
be up.
a hard suit.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so,
thinking for the 7, the sword should be up.
and that is exactly how it should be.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have our sword there.
Okay.
And then did you want to look at...
Absolutely. So Crowley, Crowley says that the 7 of Swords, he says, is like an old boxer. He's out of retirement. He's back in the ring. He might get some punches in. He's not going to win, though. And this is a partial success. This is called futility, actually, is what he calls it. And you see the sword in the middle, the large sword, that's the sun. It's battle...
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going with coins. You're on this...
Swords first.
Sword. I was like looking at that. It's like, sorry.
Yeah. So we got the sword. Yeah. So
There we go.
the large center sword is the sun, and it's battle scarred. It's outnumbered by the other swords, and they represent the moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, and Saturn. You can see on their little
Across the top.
cross thing. Yes. And lucky, yes, I am looking at my notes here, just to make sure I get them all.
And well, okay. So what is the Martini Sword? What does that mean? Is that for martinis?
No.
No, I'm kidding. You don't have to look it up.
Okay.
I'm just going to call it the Martini Sword.
It's one of the planets that, or celestial objects that is being represented. Basically, they're all outnumbering the big sword. Yes.
Right.
And yeah. Oh, and Lucky, yeah, we're on Wednesdays. I meet with Jamie and we discuss the tarot. So I'm not doing the readings today.
Right.
But sit back. This is a fun discussion. We're talking about the sixes of the
sevens also.
The seven. I'm sorry, the sevens.
He's still in last week. Sierra Perez, they bring up something. So new to the channel. So please subscribe and welcome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Loving the. So the swords always make me feel like a fox is around, heavy betrayal or secretive energy, or even self-sabotage.
Absolutely,
and
crafty.
See, that's
very very
absolutely
correct.
Yes.
For that sword, for the seven
because
of swords.
it's definitely so. Yeah, we have the harmony of the six, and then something. And again, it's that mental thing.
It's a fox in the hen house.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Okay, so we've got the Martini Sword. Go ahead.
All right. So it's partial success. It's yielding when victory is within reach.
Right, and futility. The way he names his cards is hilarious.
Why do you find it funny?
Well, I mean, he just futility. So why would this be futility if you look the definition up? Yeah. And he's the thoth person, so I read about the cards, but I'm more interested in also learning more about this. So I'm learning with people.
So seven for the curly thoth, you're inclined to betray your confidences. This is not a positive thing here. This is like you said. This is the one final stand for somebody that should have retired. And he's getting back in there. He's got something to prove. He's probably going to lose, but he's getting back in the ring to take a few more punches. Okay. But it's ultimately futile. He's outnumbered. He's not going to, but he's still going to try. Right. Gotcha. But maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't try. Maybe you should. Maybe you should sit back and have the martini. Let the young boxers take over.
Oh my God. So let's see. And it's no surprise when it comes to attacks are sneaky and tricky and not direct like the wands when we get to the wands. Right. So that's the other thing is that. And so it is, and she puts that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely don't get that
good sense.
You don't get a good feeling about this card. She's just this guy is, definitely up to something sneaky.
Yeah, SM Mannix Crowley did not like the sevens.
No, he did not. Yeah,
I mean, look at the names he puts on all of them.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sevens are no good. In the thoth, as we will see with the twos, the cups. The cups.
So we're going to do the sixes and then the twos.
No. Okay. I think of the cups as the twos. So I get a little. Okay. I think of swords as ones and cups as two. There's a whole other thing that's going around in my brain.
Okay, so you want to do the cups next?
Yes, cups next.
Okay. Where's my cup? Here's my. Oh, there he is. Okay.
All right.
This has always been an interesting card.
Very. Okay, so Seven of Cups.
And actually, you know what? Before we go to that, let's think about this for a second because cups are what? They're emotions.
Yeah, empathy.
They are, and I can see where people say that it's about daydreaming and fantasy.
Sure.
So whether you're going through 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, the first card is that inspiration, but thought, 2, you have that romance, romance is about daydreaming about that person.
Absolutely.
And 3 is daydreaming about. And
so, three is more of actually doing something.
Well, 3 of Cups is a celebration.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and so as we move into the Cups now, it really does kind of fit. I had originally, I remember struggling with Cups. Why is she showing, a bunch of this guy being distracted, all these things? And it's once you get used to it, and then it just kind of starts to make sense with the cups.
Absolutely.
And I just call the cups the Daydream Cups because you have the 6 of Cups, and so the 6 of Cups is that beautiful scene with the 2 children and things like that.
Right.
And now you're moving forward, and again you have that thing to distract you.
So
now you're being distracted from the sixes.
But you're right to call it a daydream, because this is illusionary. This is the Lord of illusionary success.
Ah, yes.
And the astrological correspondences are Venus in Scorpio. So we've got desire nature, but it's too strong. So it's your almost delusional. Emotional patience is needed. And illusions can be good. They can lead to manifestation if your will is strong. But beware, because some ideas are seductive in the short term, but crippling for life in general. So we've got, what do I mean by that? So you look at this, one of these choices, one of these daydream cups that the person is looking at has a laurel wreath in it.
Mm-hmm. That's the victory.
That's the victory, you would think. But look closely, and
there's a skull
in there, right? So it might be something good with something negative in disguise. Mm-hmm. So be careful, because...
And it's all about that... And so, how do you get a laurel victory? You defeat your enemy.
Right.
It's that
sometimes
it can be. You know, I mean, we have daydreams about.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's not a good thing.
So that's how you do your. You know, and then you get your jewels, and you get the love of your life.
But at what cost, man? At what cost?
You know, and then here's the forked tongue. Here's the snake.
Right. Right.
You know, and then So what is this hidden person here? Is that Jesus? Is it? Some people say it could be Jesus. Some people could say that it's, it's yourself. Because look at this. This person is all in black. This is the one card where the person is not even identified. This person is not even in the card. It is a cutout. It is a shadow of a person. Which, when you think about not delusions, but when you think about fantasy, and when you think about all those
daydreaming and
and things like that, that's your fantasy self.
Right. So the actual person, takes a shadow, and it's all about what's usually unseen becomes seen. It's this imaginary world where your dreams are leading you to act, leading you to move. But again, be careful, because it might not be a good way forward. It could be, but
right.
But it might not be.
And this person is absolutely distracted, which could make any situation, again, since it's a 7,
yep.
Which is an odd number, it can make any situation more difficult, because he's not even in the situation. He's off up there in the clouds.
Yeah.
So I'm just making sure about that. Yeah. So, and again, since 7s are about potential, that's all he's dreaming about. It's a potential. He's not seeing the reality for what it is yet.
Right. He's
lost in the potential.
He's yearning for these things, but they may or may not be true.
And we need to make sure we're not like him, or this person, male, female, whoever it is, because this person is lost in that daydream.
Well, no, I wouldn't go that far. I would say that
I would, look at that. That person, he's not even there.
I wouldn't say that we shouldn't have the dreams,
because
dreams are good.
We want to,
but it's just again, make sure your dreams are worthy.
But it's the fantasy in this part that's more important than anything else,
right?
And the lack of decision, because again, it's all the potential. It's like, oh, look at all this stuff I can do. And it's like, yeah, but you got to move on. And
again, it makes me think of this wonderful Star Trek quote when Spock says that having is not so pleasing a thing after all as wanting.
Right.
Not logical, but often true. So again, be wary of what you're manifesting. Make sure that it is a good thing to manifest, because not all our desires should be.
So, and in a reading with the 7, it's, the minors are the day-to-day cards. So, I mean, this is us doing our normal daydream.
Sure.
You know what? We may miss a deadline or something because we choose to daydream. Daydreaming can be just flipping through eBay. daydreaming could just be going to Amazon and seeing what cool little stuff we need and like, oh, I forgot to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
So
it can be negative.
that's how you can look at this particular card.
Or if you want to see it in a positive light, sometimes taking a little bit of time to, as the Mad Men advertisers did, to sit on the couch. The creative process works.
Because cups are a creative.
Exactly. So it can lead you to, if you're stuck in a problem, to daydream a little bit, can help you in certain cases. But again, you have to know when to hold them and when to play your card. But moving on to Crowley.
Well, actually, here let's move to the Marseille just. So
absolutely. Didn't want to skip that.
Yeah. So because here we have the person here again, and he's here, and he's all daydreaming about all this other stuff around here, and so and with the colors that we have here, where we have the red and the blues and stuff like so. When I'm looking at the Seven of Cups, again, I'm looking at sevens are potentials, they're ambitions, they're the things that drive us. And the cups are about the emotions. So, yes, we're sitting here emotionally, and 7 being an odd number, it's inserting into a situation. So we have to just watch, if we are isolating ourselves in here looking at this, we need to watch what those potentials are, those ambitions and things like that. Are we reaching out for something? We need to make sure that we're not just daydreaming and fantasizing about it, that we find a way to become grounded.
Yep.
Because this card is not about being grounded.
Not at all.
And I'm an artist, I'm a musician and things, so I do like my flights of fancy and I like my cups.
Absolutely.
But the cups are not grounded in this situation.
No.
And so it's about ultimately being grounded.
Well, it's... if you need
making sure that you're not...
Too high in the sky.
Too far, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the hard part, I should say the hard part with the cups is being grounded.
Right.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Absolutely. And you just got to balance. That's the key.
Right. But when you're on a Zoom call with your boss and 7 other people and they ask you a question.
Not the time to be daydreaming.
And you're sitting there on eBay.
Right.
It's like, what was that question again?
Yeah, that's no good.
I'm looking for a new guitar.
Not good, JB. Not good.
So we can go to Mr. Crowley.
Yes, indeed.
Do you like the way I pronounce that?
Very good.
I know.
Updating.
I am getting better.
Take notes, Ozzy.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the 7.
And I'll say some of that's interesting also about Crowley.
Okay.
Is that normally it's like, so I'll research the cards and things like that. But other than a few other things, like he names it debauch. Because obviously it's emotions and blah, blah, blah. You'll cover that.
Yep.
But I found that with the 7s, it pretty much matches everything else. He doesn't do any, a lot of times you'll see that he'll change something or
no, he's very faithful to the Golden Dawn.
Yes, and so when looking this up, it's like it just pretty much gives the keywords, kind of explains, what he has, but it's not like there's any big deviations.
But he does provide a lot more insight on it. So Crowley says this is one of the worst ideas one can have. Poison, madness, addiction, false pleasure, almost suicidal. So this is illusionary success, lying promises unfulfilled, deception in love and friendship. And you look at this card and it looks gross. And you look at this putrid water and then the sickly green.
Right. And so he's treating this card like it's a reversal card to the extreme. That is the one thing I was going to point out is that, where we're sitting here talking about the positive side of these cards.
Right.
And yes, and that's why I keep talking about, getting lost in that daydream and getting fired because of it. But he's just like, this is
with the Rider-Waite-Smith.
This is his morphine. This is his addiction. This is the passions that he has. It just is killing him.
Yeah. So with the Rider-Waite-Smith, you can see it more easily both the positive and the negative of this card. With Crowley, you're right. It's definitely not good. This is this is like being sick off of too many cocktails. This is
Or coming off of heroin.
well, right,
for him.
right. But I mean, it's basically saying that if you have 3 cocktails, that's more than enough. 4, that's just luxury of showing off. 5, the buzz is over. You have 7, you're sick. You're going to be at the toilet, right? So this is too much of a good thing, and that is no good. It's just look at that. It's gross.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, not a good thing. Crowley did not like 7s. All right, so ready to move on to wands?
2 wands it is.
All right.
So we have this dude.
Yes,
And I know one thing you'll bring up. So you're going to bring up his shoes, aren't you?
I am, of course.
So anyway, so here we have this dude here. So with the wands. So wands are fire. They're energy.
Action.
They are about action and
Yep.
creativity.
Absolutely.
This is about, putting things into action, doing things. It's another hard card because, again, like swords, it can be used as a weapon, as he's showing here. And so this card here is showing a guy he has the upper hand.
He has the high ground.
He has the high ground. But, as we're both going to point out, he's got 2 different shoes on, so she's showing that he's also on slippery ground with this.
That's true. And you can even see the water. Maybe not on this one, but on the original Pamela Smith illustrated a little bit of trickle of water going down this hill. You can't see it on this Radiant Wise version, but in some versions you will see.
Is there a trickle of water?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a slippery. It literally is a slippery slope.
I know somebody who's got the original. But
Pull that one out.
I got my original. This is from 19s, whatever.
Yeah.
Now you got it. I'd see. I'd like this.
But it's definitely about that that slippery slope. You have to fighting back is a slippery slope. If you give into your dark side, I mean, it can take you to dark places. So I mean, you wanna stand your ground. You wanna be you've got the high ground. You're doing the right thing. But be careful. Again, be careful because it's a slippery slope. If you get too aggressive, it can lead you to things that are not good.
Here we go.
See the little
Look
water
at
there?
that.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Michael.
Yeah. It's a little bit of
let's look
slippery
what they did
there.
here.
They changed it a bit.
And the reason why I generally use this card is because Universal is pretty faithful, and it just comes across better. But maybe I'll stop doing that one because I love the richer. I
love the richer colors of the Radiant Wise, but Pamela's original version.
And I keep finding this with the Radiant Wise. It's just I like the colors and all, but it's like I really prefer to go with the original true inspiration.
Yep.
And this is another example, and it's like because you know what, these details are important.
Yes, because it is a slippery slope. You gotta, fighting back.
And personally, I never noticed that. Well, where'd you read about it? Or did you just notice it?
I noticed it. Yeah.
Oh, good job, man.
Yeah. Because when I was like, oh, it's a slippery slope. Oh yeah. Look at this card. It is a slippery slope. Look at that water.
That was a good that was the observation of the day. I appreciate it. And this is why I do this, so that I too can learn.
Yeah.
So
but the astrologically, this is Mars and Leo. So you've got a fiery planet with fiery nobility. So lots of action, lots of fire. But and the title is the Lord of Valor. So he's on the high ground, like I said, which means that he's fighting for the right reasons.
But he's under siege, and he's
right.
holding his ground.
He's holding his ground, but he has to act quickly. And adaptation is key, hence the shoes. But if you get caught without your shoes on, pull Bruce Willis and still save the day. But at least he's got footwear, even if they're mismatched. But so you have to adapt to the situation, and some say that this might be you don't see any of the people that are coming up against him. So
No.
is this in his head? Is he making things worse than they actually are? Is he his own worst enemy? That's one interpretation. I like to see it as he is definitely, fighting off just unseen people.
Well,
here.
this is any
But you
issue.
can-
This is any issue that we're standing up against.
Yeah.
So with the Six of Wands,
It can sometimes...
it's victory, but you can't just rest on your laurels.
Right.
So this guy's moving forward, and people may be happy with where they were with the sixes. That's the six. The six is down here, and he's coming in. He's like, he's going to stand his ground. This is about, since wands are energy, the wands as we progress, they have to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
when you get the 7 energy, which is all about, hey, should we move or should we hold back? What's a wand going to do? The wand's going to say, oh yeah, I'm all in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this wand is telling us we have to move forward.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, but you can stand your ground.
Absolutely. And Marseille?
Merci. Comment allez-vous aujourd'hui? Come here, Mr. Marseille. Here we go. And then here we have it right here where we have the 1 just battling
Breaking
the other
through.
6.
Yep.
So that 1 is supporting, and it's underneath. You can tell it's not sitting on top. It's actually underneath that
it
weight.
all. Yeah.
But it's burying it, it's holding it, and it's keeping the other 6 from, and guys, I'm just inventing this because this is what I see when I see the card. Everybody sees the cards differently. The whole thing is how does it fit in your story? And when I see that 7, for me, it is this one wand that's supporting all these other 6. It's keeping the 6 from going through, from moving forward.
Yeah.
This is us being able to make that defense, to make our position say, stop, halt, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why you're not seeing a lot of blue in the leaves and stuff like that. The leaves aren't red. It's like it's this fiery thing.
This is a fight worth fighting, though. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the energies, these look almost like sparks coming out, don't they? They're fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I love my Marseille.
Oh, Marseille is great. And I love my Crowley. So, are
we moving to Mr. Crowley?
We are. So Crowley says, this is patriotism, so to speak, is not enough. The high art of battle is replaced with disorder and chaos. So we've got if you look at the 6 of wands for it's going to look very similar to this card, with the only addition of...
And that one says victory, this one says valor.
Right. But with the 6 of wands in the Crowley Thoth deck, it just had these very same wands in the very same position, but now with the 7, you've got this club, this very brute-looking stick here that's added, and it's basically he's calling it. This is there's difficulty, there's obstacles, but you've got the courage to meet them. Ultimately, though, it's a waste of energy. Because it's this brute-looking club. Yeah, possible victory. Yeah, sure. Valor, sure. But unimportant things are being won here. It's not anything to be proud of that you're winning. Because, again, 7s are not so good. Right. So... That's how Crowley
Did you by chance look up to see what these symbols were? I was leaving that up to you.
Yeah, it's the same wands. It's the same adept wands from the 6, just carry through to the 7. They just represent the different ranks of Golden Dawn orders and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Cubinos.
But it's the brute club edition that is smacking through. That's important with the 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Then what?
Coins.
Which leaves us with the coins.
The final.
The dude chilling out here.
Right. Now, this guy, he is called the Lord of Unfulfilled Success. And the astrological associations are Saturn and Taurus. So this is heavy and fixed And as earth energy is, it's not. So this is a 7. So should I stay or should I go now? And the coin energy or the earth energy is like, maybe we shouldn't go.
Well, let's
maybe we should hold them. Right.
So coins coins are about health. Coins are about money.
Right.
Coins are the earth symbols.
Yep.
So
slow and steady, right?
Slow and steady. It's the plotting. Coins are the boring one. Coins are the boring suit because it is about planting your feet firmly on the ground. This
Right.
is the opposite of the cups.
Right. Or the wands. Yeah. So this is but he, look at him here. He's not very happy. He's got this disappointed and unsure look to him.
Well, or is he just sitting there waiting? Oh, what do we got here? I just arrived and I'm having so much fun. I love it. Oh, these 3 days. Kisses from Argentina.
Yay!
Ooh.
Welcome.
My partner, Mina, is from just outside of Buenos Aires. That's where her family's from Argentina. So we love steak a lot. So welcome, welcome, and welcome.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but getting back.
No, I wasn't. No. Anyway,
we gotta get back to.
I'm bonding with Argentina here.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's not a anyway. Let's just brush that aside.
No, and we appreciate.
My feet are firmly planted in this card. I'm being patient and conservative with the wonderful people that show up.
Yeah, I do appreciate them.
We shall not just brush aside.
I'm just trying to keep this down to an hour.
I know, but I'm letting this card grow.
Okay.
I'm seeing the potential of the growth of this card. So I'm just going to kind of lean here into what we're saying.
Okay.
And just see if it does blossom. Okay. So anyway.
Let me get you some A1 sauce.
So it's about the potentials and waiting patiently. Go ahead.
All right, so my.
But yeah, you were saying that you thought the guy looked.
I think he's disappointed and unsure. So he's got this early harvest, and he's got to decide: should I double down? Should I reinvest? Should I harvest and then sow another seed? He's unsure what to do next, and that's the earth energy slowing him up. But because there's a chance that movement may lead to losing what has been gained so far. That's when you're playing, hit me or hold 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that kind of is what's happening with the 7s, and so he's unsure. What do I do? Should I invest some more? That would be creative and stuff. And earth energy is more of like maybe I should just settle for what I've got right now.
Right.
And that's he's a little
and
looking.
that's like so since it is a 7, it's about this potential, and sometimes people call this the failure card.
Oh, really?
Yes, where one's patience is beginning to wear thin, and you could be tempted to announce that it's a failure and being able to wanting to walk away because he's sitting here waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
And you can see that. These are grapevines, and there's no grapes yet.
Right. Well, I mean, I've always...
So he's looking at this potential. But, I mean, it is about being patient. So the thing about this card is that if you can wait and you're patient,
right,
then that's when you can get the benefit of keeping your feet firmly planted and waiting. So, again, it is about the potential.
It is. I see that with the rider weight, I can see it eat more easily both ways. I can see the negative and the positive. So here I see there's a lot of coins that have already bloomed, and it's almost like should he continue and plant some more.
He's waiting patiently. But being patient is.
But I think that you're closer to it when you were saying that this is failure because it's unfulfilled success. That's actually more close to the actual intent of this card. Is just to see that there's a chance of losing it all if you move forward. So it's. There's risk. It's like think
of it like this.
Yeah.
So since we talk about money and things like that, here we have this person here, and if they're out of work, So this could be somebody looking at the potential, of needing to make money, and he's got his resumes out there and things like that. So it's all about the potential, because I mean, you're right. He does look like he could be either contemplating the positive side, or he could be looking and saying, I just need for something to come in now.
Right.
I need money to come in. I'm just going to have to sit here and wait.
He doesn't look thrilled. He doesn't look super happy to me.
Right.
I mean, he's definitely mulling something over.
Right, because we were moving from the sixes, and again, sixes are harmony
That's
and
happy.
improvement.
Yeah.
And you're gaining something there.
Yeah.
Here, it's now
You gotta let go.
You are now you have to wait for the investment that you've been given to come in.
Yeah.
With the 7.
You have to let go of the past in order to move into the future, and there's a risk. There's a gamble. It makes me think of Star Wars. When Luke is about to leave, he has that vision. He's about to leave Yoda. And he's like, I can save my friends.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, you could maybe you could save them, but everything that you fought for, you'll lose. I mean, it's you're not ready yet, And so that's the risk thing is happening with the 7. It's like, you could double down, and you might win, but you might lose too.
Right.
So it's moving forward, but beware, there's risk. You're not out of the woods.
Hola, or hello from Portugal. I said hola, but I don't speak Portuguese, so hi.
We're all over the world today.
So
welcome.
And as we just bring it back to everyday storytelling, the 7 of coins is potential. Finding the patience to wait. Can we find the patience to wait? We can talk all the lofty terms and things like that, but it just really is just, the seeds have been planted. What's going to happen next? Can we just give it the time that we need?
Right.
Okay.
Shall
we go?
Yeah.
And so, and that's where we're sitting here and we look at the Marseille. And you can see that there has been one shoot that's sprouted. There's 6, seeds that have been planted. And again, I invent my own stories when I look at these, and it'll change if other cards are around it. But
absolutely,
when I'm just looking at this right here, I can see that one of them sprouted, but I have 6 other planted, and I'm just sitting here waiting for these 6 other ones. But as opposed to the wands where it was all yellow and everything else and fiery, we can see that the blue of water is around these. And so, this is a healthy situation. And the plants are healthy and blue and have the water tint and things like that. But there's still 6 more, and that's going to take a while to finish sprouting, And so, again, it's that having the patience, to let things move forward at their own pace, not my pace.
Yeah, and I see this disruptive. I mean, these look pretty orderly, and then here's the one it's kind of in a fragile state. That's why you've got these wrapping
it's funny,
arms
I
around
always
it.
see that like a sunflower.
Oh,
I see that as the flower,
as the blooming
petals.
flower. Oh, see, I see it as like these are nice and solid, and this is like the fragile, uneven one, and it's like kind of like holding on to it because we're unsure about this one, so we're giving it a little extra more love.
Yep.
So you see what you see,
and
I see what I see.
That's what's beautiful.
That's what I love.
Nobody's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm an intuitive anyway, so when I'm reading, it's like I tell my story.
Yeah.
And and in this moment here, next time you ask me what the
you might see something completely different.
I might be saying something based on the reading that, well, we're isolated and alone because here's the other 6 here, and that's in balance. And yet, this person is blah, blah, blah.
Right. It just depends on the mood.
But looking at it here, to me, this is just a pretty little sunflower that's popping up.
All right.
And it's like, these are the other seeds. Go ahead. But I like yours too.
No, well, get ready for a little darker, though. Cause
I know.
So, sorry to end on a dark note, but Crowley's going to...
Look at this thing. So it looks like Stranger Things.
No,
it's
upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
No. What I was going to say is welcome to the upside down.
Right.
If you've seen Stranger Things.
Yes.
Welcome to the upside down.
So this is a failure.
Oh,
this
man.
Is when the 7 of discs shows up, you better hope your question was what will happen to my worst enemy, because this is no good. This is a little gain from much labor, the promises of success unfulfilled. The rosebuds here did not bloom. Look at it. It's all dark. It's all wilted. The coins,
it really is one of the darkest cards that he's got.
This is bad news. The lead coins here that Frida Harris illustrated symbolize bad money. There's no effort, not even a dream. All labor is abandoned. Everything is dead. Look at the vegetation. This is no good. So,
you thought the tower was bad.
yeah, no. So remember the six of coins before where it was like the Midas touch.
Yeah.
And it rubbed off.
And it was all gold.
All good.
Else,
Yeah. This is the reverse of that. This is when the seven of coins or pentacles or discs or whatever show up. It's look out. No good.
No good. So wow, we have actually covered and covered and covered.
Yeah, that was a journey.
That was a journey. Goodness gracious.
Sevens are an exciting one.
Yes.
It's the gambling number, really. It really is for me. It's like should I hold them or should I hit me again? It's with the seven. It's
lucky seven. I mean,
yeah.
So slot machines, you hear about the lucky seven, you hear about this and that and all the other stuff.
But there's a reason for that.
There's
risk. There is necessary movement, but there's a gamble.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as we end this out, shall we end it out the way we normally do and do a reading with the number sixes so we can see what they look like in the real world?
Let's do just that.
So let's see. Let me pull out my high delete. So we used a pretty Rider-Waite since that's what we were talking about.
Sure. Which of the sevens do you want to use as your branching off card?
Well, let's see here.
Do you want to go swords or cups or? I
would say so. What we do here is that so. What would they? So, and Twix is love how the pairs look like eyes of something staring at you from the dark, which with the Crowley.
Oh, with the Crowley, yeah.
Or are you talking about our pair of eyes staring at you from the dark? So, a lot of times people will have issues with impatience. What should I do next? So here we are looking at the past.
Do you want to do...
Shall we do that one?
The coins? Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so let's do the coins. And if you want to hand me that big stack up there, we can do that.
Happy to.
So, in this deck, I do reversals and all that wonderful stuff.
Absolutely. Easy with the Rider-Waite.
Right. So, I don't need to shuffle in all that wonderful stuff.
Oh, you shuffle a little.
I just did. Well, normally it's like I'll sit here for 10 minutes like I'm going to do a real live reading, right? It's like, okay, so the question is that should I stay or should I go?
All right.
Should I stay or should I go? So
if you go, there might be trouble, but if you stay, there might be double.
So
let's find out.
Should I stay or should I go? How about that? So here we are, and we're asking that question. We've been patient, and so...
time to move things
along. So should I stay? And it's saying, oh, man. So, there's things underneath that... Well, things are getting better because it's the 7 and it's reversed. So it's... it's the 5.
Yep.
It's the 5. And so,
there's some
the card of
disruption.
ego. Yeah. There's this disruption going on, but... egos are starting to smooth out. So by being patient, where the 5 of Swords normally, it's like there's hurt feelings and things like that. And this guy's sad. See him sad? That's him. See?
He's back in there.
He's back there. He's sad. That's sad John. But, things are getting better. And it's like, maybe there was a loss and now he started over again. And so... should I stay? Things are getting better. Or should I go? The Knight of Swords reversed. Mm-hmm. So that is, swords are thought. Swords are
Rushing into action.
Yep, and so the Knights are rushing into action. So this is just moving without thinking.
Right.
So then, if this is a reading, it's like, look, you're being patient here. Things are getting better. It's not that things are great, but they're getting better. But are you making the wrong decision by just rushing?
Rushing, right. And that's what the earth energy here is saying, that don't be rushing into an idea that isn't well thought through. You want to make sure that before you go forward, and action is needed, but before you do, make sure that we can turn this guy around first so that we're going in the right direction.
Well, he's going to run into him. So I would say that if this was a question about should I stay or should I go, should I follow the path that I'm on, I'd say that it's like, it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like but things are at least progressing.
Yeah, I would.
So this is a card that says, stand your ground. Keep your feet firmly planted in reality, and just accept that things will grow. The vines will grow. The potential's there, but stopping now would just be too soon, and you'd be rushing off into something.
Yeah, I would say that moving forward, is needed, but just take the time to pause and think it through before you move. That's what I see here is that
Sure.
that if the question was should I stay or should I go, it's somewhere in between. It's yes, you should go, but just get your ducks in a row first.
Yeah, and
is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm saying is definitely stay.
Oh, you say stay?
I'm saying it's definitely stay, because leaving right now it's just moving too fast,
right?
And it's not thinking. It's
stay.
Sometimes it's better to do something, even if it's wrong, is what some people will say.
Oh, I disagree.
When you get that feeling, it's like, I got to do something even if it's wrong.
Yeah,
I've heard people say that before.
It's Facebook's motto: break things and just keep going.
Yeah. So I've got to do something even if it's wrong. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Things are getting better. It's moving, just at its own pace.
Right. And as long as we're patient, then it'll be okay. Just think it through. Before you move. Think it through.
Yes.
We got any comments in there?
Just Twix again.
Oh.
Either. So,
we do tag team Twix.
I know. Again, I am surprised that we were able to talk about a number for an hour.
I'm never surprised. I'm just worried that we'll run out of time. But yeah.
And I know. So here we have taken our hour again. And it was absolutely phenomenal.
Delightful.
Thank you again, Michael.
My pleasure, Jamie. Always enjoyable.
And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe.
And ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Tell your friends, all that other wonderful stuff.
And you can find us at...
You can find us at MyTarot.org, which has a link to our Facebook page where we hang out. And I do a daily reading every day here on Facebook. Here on YouTube. And then... I post it on Facebook if people are interested in discussing it. And then you can also go to... And
you can find out more about my offbeat artwork at offbeatartwork.com.
Yep.
And you can find me on Twitch at offbeat artwork and Instagram and offbeat artwork and all that good stuff. And poke me to get my tarot deck done that I continue working on.
His wife will love you if you poke him to get it done. So, we have all the links down there. But definitely, and then, Michael, I'm going to be on vacation next week.
Oh,
no, it's not next week. I'm sorry, in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So I meant to tell you about that.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, I'm going to be gone.
No problem. We'll take a little hiatus, but next week we're on for the 8s.
Next week we are on for the 8s. 8s are fun.
8s are fun.
8s are going to be interesting.
Crazy 8s.
Thank you all again. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week. I hope your life is amazing. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
All that other stuff. So thanks a lot, everybody, and take care.
We'll see you next week.
Yay.